Before you scroll away, I need to tell you something that could put real money back into your pocket this year. And I mean actual money, not a maybe, not a someday. There are 3 separate payments and discounts available to UK pensioners right now. And the sad truth is, most people watching this will never claim even one of them. Not because they don't qualify, but because nobody ever sat them down and explained it properly. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because the third one especially is brand new this year, and almost nobody knows about it yet. I'm Thomas Ashford, and every week I break down the money changes that quietly affect pensioners across the UK, the ones the news headlines rush past in 10 seconds flat. Now, I know what the last year or two has felt like. Bills going up, payments taken away, uncertainty about what's coming next. It's been exhausting, and I understand completely if you've come to expect nothing but bad news. But today is different. Everything I'm about to walk you through puts money into your pocket, not out of it. So let's get straight into the first one. If you're a UK pensioner with a yearly income under £35,000, there's a payment worth up to £300 heading your way this year to help with your heating costs. For the vast majority of you, it arrives automatically. No form, no phone call, nothing to fill in. This is the winter fuel payment, and here's why it matters so much right now. Last year, this payment was stripped away from around 10 million pensioners. Unless you were receiving pension credit, you got nothing. It caused real anger, and rightly so. But here's what almost nobody has told you clearly. It's back. It's been restored for the vast majority of pensioners across the country. And right now, a huge number of you still believe you're not getting it, when in fact this year you are. Let me give you the exact numbers so there's no confusion. If you're over state pension age and your income sits at £35,000 or below, you keep the full payment. And that covers roughly 3 out of every 4 pensioners in Britain. Most households receive £200. If someone in your home is over 80, that rises to £300. It's paid directly into your account, usually in November or December, and it's completely tax-free. Now, before we go any further, subscribe to this channel right now if this is useful to you. I go through changes like this every single week, and you don't want to miss the next one. All right, let's keep going. Here's the one thing that trips people up, so listen closely. That £35,000 figure is based only on your own taxable income, not your household's, not your savings, not the value of your home. It's simply your state pension, any private pension, and any earnings added together. If that total is £35,000 or under, the money is yours to keep, no questions asked. And if you're just slightly over that line, don't worry. The payment still arrives, and it's only adjusted later through the tax system. Either way, you're not chasing anything. Now, I do need to warn you about something, because this payment being back in the headlines means the scammers are back too. Nobody official will ever text you, call you, or email you asking for your bank details to release this payment. It arrives automatically. If you get a message asking you to click a link to claim it, delete it immediately. That's someone trying to rob you, plain and simple. Let me paint a picture, because I think a lot of you will recognise this. A couple in their 70s, worked their whole lives, own their home outright. Last winter, when this payment vanished, it hurt, and it made them angry like everyone else. So this year, they've simply assumed it's still gone. They haven't given it a second thought. And that quiet assumption, that's the only thing standing between them and £300 that's already on its way to people exactly like them. So that's surprise number 1. Up to £300, quietly restored, and most pensioners don't even realise it. If you have a parent, a grandparent, or an elderly neighbour who gave up on this last year, they need to hear this. But we're only getting started, because the second one is money that's sitting there completely unclaimed for a huge number of you. This one is called the Warm Home Discount, and it's worth £150 knocked straight off your electricity bill. Not a loan, not something you pay back, just gone from what you owe. And here's the problem. Unlike the winter fuel payment, this one isn't always automatic. If you receive the guarantee element of pension credit, it should come to you without any effort on your part. But here's what most people don't realise. You can still qualify even if you're not on pension credit at all, simply by being on a low income with high energy costs. The eligibility rules have widened, which means more households qualify today than ever before. So here's your action step. Call your energy supplier or check your online account and ask this exact question. Am I receiving the warm home discount? And if not, do I qualify? That one question could be £150 back in your pocket this winter. And I'll tell you who this catches most often, because it's one of the saddest patterns I come across. Someone living alone, maybe widowed, getting by carefully, turning the thermostat down a little lower than they should through the coldest months, because every pound counts. That person, more often than not, qualifies for this £150, and very often for a council tax reduction on top of it. Yet year after year, it passes them by, simply because nobody ever told them to ask. While we're on the subject of bills, council tax reductions are one of the most underclaimed forms of support in the entire country. If you're on pension credit, your council tax could drop dramatically, in some cases to nothing at all. Even without pension credit, many councils will still reduce the bill for pensioners on modest incomes. So when you make that one phone call, ask about both the warm home discount and a council tax reduction. And always ask whether either can be backdated, because in many cases it can, which could mean a lump sum on top of your ongoing savings. That's surprise number 2. £150 off your energy, and potentially hundreds more off your council tax. All yours simply for asking. Now here comes the third one, and this is the one that's genuinely brand new this year, which is exactly why so few people have caught onto it yet. I know the second I mention pension credit, some of you are ready to switch off. You've been told before that you earn too much, or you applied years ago and were turned down. Please stay with me, because what's changed could open a door you thought was shut for good. From this year, housing support is being brought into pension credit for new claimants, something called the pension credit housing element. In plain English, pension credit is being widened to help cover certain housing costs that used to sit under a completely separate benefit. Here's why this matters so much. Every time pension credit is widened, more people who were previously just outside the line get pulled inside it. And pension credit isn't just one small payment, it's a gateway. The moment you qualify for even a small amount, other support opens up behind it automatically. Reduced council tax, help with NHS costs, the warm home discount we just talked about, and once you turn 75, a free TV licence. So a small change to who qualifies for pension credit is never really small at all because of everything attached to it. I've lost count of the number of people who tell me with complete confidence that they checked years ago, were told they were a few pounds over the line, and never looked again. I understand that instinct completely. But the rules are not frozen in time. They shift, they widen, and a household that didn't qualify 3 or 4 years ago can easily qualify today, without a single thing in their own life having changed. So here's what I want you to take from this. Don't assume you already know the answer. The rules have moved. If you've ever been turned down for pension credit, or never even applied because you assumed there was no point, this is the year to check again. There's a free pension credit calculator on the government's website, and organisations like Age UK and Citizens Advice will sit down with you and work it out at no cost, with no pressure at all. Now, before I wrap this up, I want to say one thing plainly, because it runs through all 3 of these. Roughly 1 in 3 pensioners in this country do not claim everything they're entitled to. Not because they don't qualify, but because nobody ever told them, all because a little bit of pride got in the way of putting their hand up. I want to say this gently. There is no shame in claiming any of this. You paid into this system your entire working life. This isn't a handout. It's not charity. It's your own money coming back to you. So add it up with me for a second. £300 from the winter fuel payment, £150 from the warm home discount, potentially hundreds more off your council tax. And if this new pension credit change brings you inside it, the door to thousands of pounds a year in further support, that's not loose change. That's the difference between dreading winter and getting through it in comfort. So before you go, do one thing for me. If you have a parent, a grandparent, a neighbour, anyone in your life over 60, send them this video today. There will be people around you sitting on money that's rightfully theirs, with absolutely no idea it's waiting for them. A single message from you could put a few £100s back where it belongs. If this helped you, do 3 quick things before you leave. Hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's breakdown. Tap that bell icon so you're notified the moment I post. And please, share this with your family and friends, especially anyone over 60 who might be missing out right now. I'm Thomas Ashford. I'll see you in the next one.